If you've ever wondered how to cook fluffy, perfect quinoa, I'm gonna show you how to do it. It's super simple and there's a few tricks that just make it perfect every time. Hey everybody, I'm Kelly with the Suburban Soapbox, and I used to think I hated quinoa until I learned how to cook it correctly. There are a few pro tips that I'm gonna share with you today on how to make quinoa that's fluffy, light, and not bitter at all. So all you're going to need to cook your quinoa is water or chicken stock or beef stock or vegetable stock. You can definitely use a stock to infuse some flavor, but we're gonna use this to make a salad, so I wanna keep it pretty neutral, and we're gonna use water today. And then you can use tricolor or regular quinoa. The tricolor quinoa just has some red and black quinoa mixed in there. It just gives it some color variation and a little bit of depth. It's great for a side dish or salad or stuffing. You're going to also need some butter and salt. So to start our quinoa, we're going to put our quinoa in a fine mesh sieve like this, and we're going to rinse it. You want to rinse off the outer coating of it. That leads to the bitterness that you taste sometimes when you have quinoa as a side dish and it's not really mixed with anything. It can have a bitter note to it. So rinse it thoroughly, and then we're going to go to the stove and cook it up. So to cook your quinoa, once you've rinsed it, we're going to add the butter to the pan. Add your quinoa to the pan once the butter is melted and just toast it a little bit. You're gonna toast the quinoa until it starts to smell like nutty. That's approximately 2 to 3 minutes. Once you get to that point, stir in the water or the stock and bring it to a boil. Once your quinoa is boiling, we're gonna turn the heat to low and stir in the salt. Cover and continue cooking for 15 minutes. Remove the quinoa from the heat and allow the quinoa to rest for 5 minutes covered. Do not peek, where the quinoa could turn sticky or gummy, and that's when you have bad quinoa. Once your quinoa has rested, uncover and fluff with a fork. If there's still liquid in the bottom of the pan, you can cover it and return it to heat for 5 more minutes or until the liquid is absorbed. Now we're gonna take this quinoa over to the island and turn it into a very amazing salad. So our quinoa is done and it's fluffy and perfect and really, really hot. And I'm gonna make a salad with this. So first I'm gonna put it in this bowl. Maybe it'll cool off a little bit, not being in the hot pan. And that is why the bottom of my pan is completely scratched up. Do not use a metal utensil on a nonstick pan. So I'm just gonna spread this out a little bit, just to give it some time to cool off a little bit so it's not like super steaming. All right, so to make our vinaigrette, we're making actually a Clementine vinaigrette, and we have some freshly squeezed clementine juice. If you don't have clementine juice, you can use orange juice, that works well too. And then some apple cider vinegar and a little bit of Dijon and olive oil. So I'm gonna stream in the olive oil while I'm whisking it with a fork, kind of create like emulsion. Okay, so you wanna check your dressing for seasoning. If you wanna add salt or pepper or even a little bit of cayenne pepper to give it some kick, that's not a bad idea either. So we're going to just add everything to this bowl with the quinoa. It's kind of cooled off a little bit. So we're gonna have a warm quinoa salad. That's fine too. So we're gonna add some chopped apples, some pears. This is like a harvest quinoa salad. And we have some green onions or scallions, just chopped. I have some chopped kale, some pomegranate seeds, some candied pecans, and parsley. I'm gonna take this wooden spoon and just toss it all together, and you wanna kind of scoop up from the bottom. And we just wanna toss a little bit, and then we're gonna add the dressing, and then we'll toss it some more. And since the quinoa is still warm, it's gonna soak up this dressing like amazingly. So there will be so much flavor in here. It's so fresh and delicious. And you can use the quinoa to make quinoa cakes. You can use it for stuffing for like stuffed peppers. It's an excellent and versatile grain that's like healthy, and it has protein and lots of fiber. It's really good for you, and I was never a fan, and I learned how to cook it and now I love it, especially in a salad. You can see all of that quinoa sticking to the ingredients. That's it. So I'm just gonna take a bite, make sure it tastes amazing, which I know it does. It's so refreshing and crunchy and juicy. It's so perfect. This would be great with like a roasted chicken. So easy and so good. If you like this recipe, please be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. For more easy recipes, visit thesuburbansoapbox.com. Thanks again.